Father in heaven, we come this morning just grateful, Father, for all that you have done. Father, we ask that you would touch each and every one of us and let us be an example, be the example that you would have us to be, that someone might come and say, what must I do to be saved? So, Father, bless us this morning. Touch each and every one of us on this panel and anyone that decides to come into your house today to worship you. It's in the name of Jesus that we pray. Amen. Good morning. Good morning. Have us to be that might come and say, what must I do to be saved? So, Father, bless us this morning. Touch each and every
We had this conversation this morning.
Oh my goodness.
Our very own Reverend Edison
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
was
goodness.
having a conversation about somebody not having their phone off.
Pastor Jinxby.
And he pointed out that he said some fella. I said, see, God don't like ugly. That's what the old folks used to say. God don't like ugly. Something gonna happen. And what
Pastor
happens?
Jinxby. Pastor
Smith, what I told, what I said this morning. Smith?
Yeah, you said it was gonna happen, and it did.
I said the very person who complained about everybody not having their phone off would be the person that something happened, and not 30 seconds into the podcast.
It already happened.
I checked it all, man. It was supposed to be red.
I know. I believe you.
God don't like ugly.
But that's
No, I didn't. I didn't. I said God don't like ugly because you were poking fun at
And
everybody
we got a
else.
sign that says silence
Silent-
devices.
Oh, wow. Right here. The first thing that comes up is
Big old
silent
sign
devices.
says silent devices.
wow. Wow.
Come on, host.
Pastor done put that.
No, don't look here. You a grown man.
That's
You a grown man.
that's spiritual
No,
jinx
you a grown man. A grown man.
Wow.
Well, good morning to you, Reverend.
Good morning.
You all right?
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Reverend Anderson.
Had another pantry yesterday.
Yeah.
Going good.
Yeah, we actually had an inspection yesterday, and it went very well. Matter of fact, we got an A+ rating.
A+.
Yeah.
I'm
I didn't even know you could get that.
Oh,
I didn't. But
it wasn't nothing I did to get it.
huh?
It wasn't nothing I did to get it.
Oh, you put a doorknob on.
I played my part.
I mean, that was yesterday. You know, it wasn't your time to carry food to the senior, so you put a doorknob on.
Okay. Pastor, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. It's been a tough week this week. So just keep the McKinley family in your prayers. We lost one of our foundational men in our family on Saturday morning, so it was kind of difficult. The reason why I'm a avid sports fan is my uncle Ronnie. He since I can remember about sports, and that's why if you walk in my house, I got LSU everywhere, Cowboys everywhere. He was a Philadelphia Eagles. Not Eagle. I'm sorry. He rolled up in heaven. He was a Philadelphia 76er fan because of Julius Erving. So
Yeah.
that's why I fell in love with basketball. So he passed away yesterday, and that was kind of like difficult on yesterday. But God's able. And just been a difficult week. But I know that as long as we still walking on the dirt, we have an opportunity to give God the praise and everything that's done in our lives. So.
I'm sorry to hear that, Pastor, but I know that God ain't gonna put no more on you than you can handle. And then on top of that, excuse me, you had all these meetings you had to try to deal with yesterday.
Yesterday, I was telling Edison, I saw y'all at 9:05. From 9:05 till we had a meeting in the morning, had a meeting in the afternoon, had Keebion and Noah's birthday party. It's amazing. They turned 5 and 10, so they had the birthday party outside. And so had to do had to show my little barbecue skills yesterday. So just a little bit. I ain't doing much, just a little bit.
Well, you know, we have to show out every now and then. Let them know that we still got it.
From 9 to the whole day. I think I got home at 5 o'clock. So then I got my granddaughter, one of my granddaughters with me, and she's just full of energy. So she ain't lay down till about almost 10 o'clock, so she was like, Papa, come play, Papa, come read.
The baby?
Yes,
The baby? Oh,
yes.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
her to death, but I want
she
some of
is
her
full
energy.
she is full of energy. Well, good morning to you, to the viewers this morning. If you have not been watching the Rowlett Friendship YouTube videos, you should go back into our archives, Rowlett Friendship, and on YouTube, and just we got this show. We got our young adults. What's the name of it?
CYA.
Yeah, it's our young adult.
Confessions
Confession of a young adult. Yeah, and as well as our Wednesday nights. Our Wednesday night team is going strong. But go back and check them out at your spare time. Now,
Can I say something like that?
yes.
We are always talking about spreading the gospel and getting the message out there. And sometimes it's hard for us to kind of vocal what we want to say to people and all that. But you can go to YouTube and just, hey, that Wednesday night Bible study, I want to share this with somebody. That's why we do podcasts, that's why we have all that stuff, is that you can still, that's in our archives. You go share those things. As people are going through something and you don't have something to say, but there's when y'all was on, Church for Real, y'all was saying this about faith, and somebody need to hear this. That's the idea of having these podcasts, is being able to continue to share the message out there, because sometimes we don't have the words to say.
Right.
But if you say, hey, if you just take 15 minutes or 20 minutes to listen to this, man, this is going to bless your life, and it helped me. So as you check off on some stuff, if something was said to help you, guess what? If it helped you, it can help other people. And so I'm constantly trying to share our content. I just put it out there on Facebook, and I don't share it with one. I just put it out there, because you never know where it's going to land. And when it lands, that might be a blessing to somebody. And you can share right from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram to all those things. So you ain't gotta have this. You ain't gotta be this technical person. You can just hit that share, send, and then Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff is easy, so that you can share the content. Again, don't be so selfish and just think it's all about you and what you get, but share it. Share the content. And if it's bad content, we'll get off. We won't let you share it.
Yeah. I mean, because the last few weeks
Amber shook her head when I said that, because she said there's no bad content.
we've been trying to make it personal. We had topics like, are you a church worker or a church watcher? Priority versus responsibilities, the benefit of faith, and how my actions affect others. And this morning is not going to be any different. We're going to get a little personal this morning. Okay, our topic this morning is why the anger is your lie. You got quiet.
I'm sorry.
It was kind of hard to understand what you were talking about. Say it again now.
Why the anger is your lie? Well, we had a meeting this week, Pastor, and I just carried that meeting on over. We all have issues with lying.
You say it again.
Why the anger? It's your lie.
Okay. You might want to say it. It's your lie. Why the anger?
It
made more.
It's your lie. Why you get mad at the lie you told?
That might be a better way to say it.
Yeah. Why are you mad at it? Because you the one told a lie. But we know how difficult. Nobody wants to be told that they're a liar. Nobody wants to be caught in a lie. So we're going to take a different angle at it this morning. We're going to point the finger at Peter this morning. And when Peter denied Christ 3 times, his fall, and and how Jesus renewed him, to catch us up on the story. After Jesus was arrested in the garden, Peter cut the man's ear off. Peter followed the soldiers and Jesus through the courts, and Peter was outside in one of the courtyards by a charcoal fire when this little girl noticed him and asked him, aren't you one of his followers? And Peter said, no. I don't know why you asked that. Not only do I not know it, I didn't even know what you're talking about. Well, later on, the fella that got his ear cut off in the garden, he saw Peter. And he said, wasn't you? And at that point, Peter got so upset because he was caught in a lie that he started cussing. And then shortly after that, the cock crowed, and the words that Jesus had given to Peter come to reality, and Peter understood what Jesus was finally trying to tell him. So now, how do we take this story and relate it to the problem that we all have, lying? I think Pastor's favorite saying is, given the right opportunity, we all will tell a lie. And I have another one, Pastor. There's only 2 reasons that we lie: to avoid pain and to gain pleasure. Everything else falls under that. And whatever your lie is, wherever you lying, it comes because you're either trying to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. Now, I believe at the time that Peter told his lie, he was trying to avoid pain. So, what do you think, Reverend Smith?
I don't know.
That's your final answer.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What's the question?
Why do we lie?
I'm saying are you saying that about Peter?
Are
you just asking a general question?
I'm asking a general question. We just
why do we lie?
Why do we lie and then get mad when we get caught in our lie?
I'm not gonna just. Okay, I know. Go ahead, Smith.
No, go.
No, I'm sorry.
Y'all ain't trying to talk about lying.
I ain't got nothing to do.
You ain't got nothing to say about lying.
I do it all the time.
That's why.
Whether it's intentional or unintentional. Pastor, come back. I'm playing. No, I don't want to run you off the stage. I had to throw something in there. You came out as coach.
Wow. Lying is difficult to talk about.
I think it's not difficult. It's not difficult for me to talk about.
Because my statement that I always use this from the standpoint is that we have a sin nature, and really when we start thinking about the idea of just lying, it's not just that. We live in a fallen state, and only by Jesus Christ's death, burial, and resurrection that we have the ability to have any righteousness in us. In of ourselves, we cannot have it at all. So you may not lie every day, but you fall every day.
Mm-hmm.
You might not lie every minute, but there are some things when you have lustful thoughts in your heart, when you have anger in your heart, and all those things. So when you said that, your question says, why do we lie? I mean, it's our nature to find. You said something. You lie for two reasons: to avoid pain. It's pain and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with pain and pleasure, and that's sin, right? That's all sin is. It's the idea of the desires that does not line up with God. And so what you just said is that we lie. We lie to get into sin. We lie to get out of sin. We lie to keep sinning. We lie, and so it's just a part of the whole makeup who we are. Now the idea is that we should be trying to overcome those things. And the best way to not lie is not to put yourself in a position to lie.
Mm.
And the reason why you put ourselves in a position to lie, I've read something that says that we have to submit ourselves to God constantly. And when we don't submit ourselves to God, we open up our opportunity to be in sin. Mm. So I don't know if I answered your question.
This is something. You don't have to teach a baby or a child how to lie. It's already in him.
Yeah.
And stuff. I was dealing with some of my little kids, and what ended up happening is it was a honey bun, and so they went and got the honey bun and bit off of it. When I came back, I didn't see the honey bun, but I said, who ate the honey bun? All of them had honey bun around their mouth. They were like, I don't know. I don't. It's just in them to do that. So we have an inherent nature to do that. To do that. It's a defense type of mechanism, that we all have it. And like I said, you don't have to teach people to do that. They automatic. That's one of the things you ain't got to teach them to do. They just come inside of the born. It's just in our nature to do that. So that's something that's a part of sin that's in us. And a lot of times we do it so much until, it becomes normal.
Yes.
It becomes normal for us to do. And even people who, profess Christ and do, I think, Pastor, you should give it a prime example of, you speeding, the police stop you.
You gonna lie.
Hey, I'm on my way to the hospital.
Even not that. I wasn't speeding. Yes, you was. You set your thing at 83 miles per hour. Sir, I don't know you set it for 83 and the speed limit was 65, so you knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
you know anything. My grandmama having a baby. Something not even believable. You know, not even. But how young is your grandma?
I was
So
having an issue.
that's something that you won't even. Some people you won't even think about it. You're just trying to get out of getting a ticket, or you're trying to get out of paying the bill. So lying is something that's just built in us. You know, you might as well just be honest. And that one of those things that you don't have to teach people to do. They just automatically do it, and sometimes they automatically do it without even thinking.
Because we are wrapped.
Because we practice.
No, because we are wrapped in it. As we was formed in our mother's womb, it was wrapped in us because we are human, mankind, natural behaviors. And you said something, Smith, and I thought about that. I have 3 kids and 2 grandkids. I have 4 daughters, and I'm gonna put them all on the spot. All 4 of them, before they were, at the time they were walking, as they learn how to walk, they learn how to. And Josh they could never say the word tell a lie. They told a story.
Oh, yeah.
So, my youngest daughter will be 21 years old now, and they still scared to say the word lie in front of their mama. Joyce had in their mind that you better not ever say lie. No comment. Anyway, but before they were really knowing how to walk, they could just do whatever, and they can reach for something, have something. You know how to say that?
Yep.
Because it's wrapped in them. You know why it's that way? Because their mama and daddy were sinners.
Yeah.
Their grandmother and grandfather were sinners. They through all generations, all the way back, we were all sinners. And so, so the flip side of that, why we get angry, we don't get angry at the basic lies. We get angry at when we get caught in our lies.
Yeah.
Because if you have to tell one lie, you got to remember that lie.
Yes, you do.
That's what my mama told me.
And
My
you
mama
get-
said if you tell one lie, then you have to tell
tell
another
another
lie to
one,
cover
and then
that
you
up.
gotta
Then you have to
remember
tell
both of
another lie
And,
to
you
cover
better,
that.
and if you don't put it in the right order,
Yeah.
you
get caught
man,
again.
why you start then the other defense measure comes into play. I'm gonna act angry and crazy
Yeah.
to get off the point.
To divert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you said something. You said the way to deal with it is to not put yourself in the position. How do I not put myself in a position that I'm born in?
Well, cause y'all gonna laugh at this. I was a big G.I. Joe cartoon growing up, and that was G.I. Joe came in the morning. It was a 30-minute cartoon. I had 2 sets of it, and right before the bus came, it was coming on. And they always said this: knowing is half the battle. If you know that you're gonna fall today, aren't you gonna prepare better to not fall? If you knew you were gonna go out there and have a wreck today, you knew today was you gonna have a wreck, wouldn't you be more cautious because you know you're gonna wreck today? If I told you, Edison, if you drive 50 miles an hour and you go on this road here, you're gonna have a wreck. You might get to 49, but you ain't going to 50. 50. Well, so I'm saying, so you're gonna prepare as if you know that's gonna happen. And what we do is, we do this, and this is what Paul says, don't do. Well, I'm a sinner, I'm messed up, so I might as well just go and live it up. I'm just going to live it up. God knows my heart, so I'm just going, he already said I'm a sinner, a wretch undone, so I'm just going, no, he says, we press towards the mark of a higher calling. Means we got, all this stuff is in it, and it's just not cliches. There are repeated verses, repeated concepts of saying that you have this condition. In order to not let this condition, man, y'all get into my story, I'm going to start.
Well, okay, let me say it like this. Don't go to the club. You won't have to lie about where you've been at.
That's one lie.
That's one lie you ain't got to worry about. Don't if you know yourself and you know that and stuff, you don't stop hollering at everybody. Hey, let me holler at you. Let me get your phone number so I can pray for you. You don't.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying stay out of those. Those things and stuff. If you know that you're supposed to be somewhere at a certain time, don't stop by your homeboy's house while the game on, because you know you ain't gonna make it back in time.
Yeah.
That's
good,
what he said.
right?
Do things that don't put you in the position where you have to lie, because I guarantee you, if somebody asks you where you been, you're not gonna say, "Well, babe, I stopped by the club." You ain't gonna say, "I stopped by my homeboy's house." But then I asked, "When you supposed to do this?" Yeah, but see, this is what happened. You know, his car went out. I mean, you put yourself into a position where
Yeah, and look
you have to lie.
Look at it. And his girlfriend calls your wife. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, his car working just fine. They were. Alice was over here, and now you gotta be mad. Oh, she wrong. I don't know. She trying to get me in trouble. You
Right,
get all mad, and then another.
And you get high. Well, why you checking up on me? You know, why you? I'm a grown man. Why you gonna check up on me? Because it's two things they call fight or flight. either you gonna fight it out and get angry, or else you gonna go somewhere and sit down and just don't say anything. You know, and just don't say anything, man. So that's what anger does to you. It would do, and sometimes you can get angry over a lie really, really quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about even when people lie to me. Sometimes I know.
Oh yeah.
I know that they're lying. I know they lying.
And they know that you know it.
And
they still stay with it.
Because they look at you straight, it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
but so yeah.
I mean, for instance, there's a guy that worked out of Lockheed. He messed up a part on the plane, and he drilled through something. It was funny because he got out of his area and went somewhere else, and I said, what are you doing over there? I'm looking at him on the camera. He goes and takes the stuff. He does it real good. He patches it up. He fans it down. He sands it down, and then he puts it on the plane.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he puts it on the plane. So when he see us coming, he already know something wrong. So he said, hey man, I don't know what, I didn't do nothing.
Wow.
I watch you, I sit there and watch you do that. And do you know how bad what you did? Do you know how bad this is? No, man, no, I ain't do. Dude, we got you on camera. I ain't do nothing. I'm talking about he just kept, and the more he kept lying, the angrier I got. Matter of fact, I had to let somebody else handle it because I don't know why it made me so, so mad, but he was just standing in my face, just lying in my face. And sometimes lying comes so easy for some people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta work at not lying.
Right.
You got to work at being honest. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you have to work at because you can do it involuntarily.
Because watch this. Peter was so convincing to the first set of people, he just kind of molded along on his way. He was even more convincing to the second set of people.
Mm-hmm.
When we got to the third one, there were some eyewitnesses to all that.
Right.
So his defense couldn't work as well as it did before. So now he added the anger with the defense, and then you act stupid enough in front of people say, this like ain't worked. Maybe he not. Maybe because he cussing like that. What he was showing again was trying to even prove even more so. I'm not one of the holy rollers.
Right.
So like you said, so that tells me something right there. This ain't the first time Peter lied.
No.
And won't gonna be the last time Peter lied.
I had a similar situation to what you just said. I had a contract with Walmart where we were doing assemblies, and we would go to I would send the guys to the stores, and they would work out in the lawn and garden, and put together the things that bicycles and wheelbarrows and different whatever Walmart had that they were that needed to be assembled. I had that contract for about 13 years, and we had this guy. He calls me. He says, "Hey man, this stand broke." I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "The wind blew it over." I said, "Well, they're outside. It was a little windy." And I said, "Well, if that's the case, then put it back together the best you can, put it back in the box, and let the manager know. What happened." So the manager apparently, I wasn't there when he talked to the manager, but apparently the manager didn't believe what he was saying because he went back to the cameras. He went back to the cameras, and then once he reviewed the video, he didn't even say anything else to the guy. He called me.
Wow.
Called me and told me he needed to see me at the store. I said, okay, so I come down to the store, and when we walked in that video room, I was like, okay, this is not getting ready to go well. And I hadn't seen a thing, because why would you have something that you want to show me before we even have the conversation? Okay, I know where the anger comes from. Was that here it is. First of all, this guy tells a lie. He tries to set up the reason, he tries to set up the situation to show that he wasn't lying.
Right.
And when we walked out to talk to him, I said, First thing I said was, we have the video. You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping that he won't stand there
And keep it
lie
going.
in front of me and this manager, and he already know, but both of us done seen this. Dude lied to the end. He lied to the point that the manager said, I need you to take him off the property.
This is what I want to point out, though, in this whole scenario, in this whole story, when Jesus tells him about the rooster and all that crowing and stuff, I think you have to understand that the crowing of the rooster and all that, it represents man's weakness and God's grace. And even though, even though we are weak, God still has grace for us. Yeah. Because look at Peter. He said, Peter, upon this rock, I build my church. And so a lot of times, we got to wrap it up. But I'll finish it next go round. But a whole lot of times, God knows us. He knows. As a matter of fact, he knows when you're gonna lie before you lie. But he still gives us grace to cover.
Yeah. There is a out from lying. Yeah. We gotta take a break. We'll be back in 2. We're back. I think we're back. Well, welcome back to Rowlett Christian Baptist Church Real. Very, very interesting conversation this morning. I'm gonna go straight to our viewers, and Deacon Robinson says we may be born into that nature, but we can remove that part from us if we so choose. Life is all about choice. Well, I don't know how to remove the sin nature.
Well, no, he just says we'll never be sinless.
Right.
But the stuff, I mean, I don't know about y'all too, holy rollers to my right.
Oh, wow.
Growing up, we put ourselves in that situation. We knew already we won't get into it. We already knew what lies we were going to tell. We already knew what we were going to do. I mean, we set up the whole weekend that says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lie to her, and her. I'm going to do this. The whole nature that we were in, we were doing that way. And so the more we get closer to Christ, a lot of that stuff falls away. Now, like I said, we'll never get to the point where this way, given any opportunity, we'll lie. So it's still in us, but we do less of it. So what Robert said, I'm interpreting for him because he's, usually if he's here in the audience, here live, we had this conversation back and forth. What he's saying says, I choose to do better. I make a conscious effort before, if I know I'm going to get a wreck, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm perfect, that I don't, we always say this. It says that, I don't know if Smith was anyone that said this. I says, you know how people say, pray for me. And I tell people, you need to pray right then, because if you don't pray right then, you're going to forget about it.
Yeah.
They come back 3 days later. Oh, man, thank you for your prayer because, man, God came through. And you start thinking.
And you stand there and don't tell the truth, and that is a lie.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Give me the right opportunity instead of saying what I do. I don't know if this is. I was like, praise God, man, He's awesome.
Yeah.
I never confess. I never take credit for it. Nor do I take the blame for it. So maybe.
So that's
hold on.
hold on.
So I guess I'm being lukewarm, and Christ says He's been lukewarm. But I did not say I did pray for you. I did not say I didn't pray for you. So I'm just.
So he didn't lie. He
I gave glory to
he
God.
He said God is awesome.
God is awesome. I did
What a
not.
lie at?
Yeah, I didn't.
Tell me what a lie at.
Okay.
If the person came and said,
If you say God is awesome,
but that's a
great.
prime example, Pastor, of how we convince ourselves
I just said
that
that
we are
I'm
not
lukewarm.
lying by not telling the truth. I mean, it's cut and dry.
Wait a minute, hold on. So if somebody come to you and say, praise God, this came through for me. Are you supposed to say, well, baby, I didn't pray for you?
Yeah,
No.
that's the truth.
Dude, you can't do that.
And you can't do it, but if you don't,
She didn't say, did you pray for me? She says,
Thank
praise
you
God.
for praying for me.
No, she didn't. She said, how did she say? She says, oh man, thank God, man, it came through. It came through. She didn't say, your prayer did it. She said, God did it.
Pastor, ain't we? That's real close, though, Pastor. That is real close. Come on, Pastor, you know it is.
If I don't open my mouth and say, I sure pray for you, because some folk with that, oh yeah, I pray for you, girl. No,
I knew he was going to do it for you when I was in prayer for you.
Yeah.
He showed me.
Now
That's a flat lie.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like you said,
Okay. But
praise God,
answer
He's
this for me.
awesome.
Answer this for me.
If she had
I got a question.
if she had said, man, thank you for your prayers, I said, look here, you know what? I got tied up and I didn't, but praise God for that happened.
That should be that's the best way to do it. Okay, all right.
If
'Cause
she
what
had
I'm
asked me, did I pray?
Okay, if she hasn't. Okay, I have a question. Can I be guilty of lying and not say anything?
Yeah.
Can I be?
Guilty of lying, and I never open my mouth.
So if someone says, ask you a question, if Fred Green here in Ours can ask you a question, says, man, did you come open up the church this morning and turn on the AC, and you don't say nothing, you just walk away from them?
All right, let me give you a better example.
What lie at?
Well, all right, if somebody assumed that you did something, good or bad, and you actually didn't do it, and you let them go on assuming that you did it, ain't that a lie?
No, that's just not correcting them. I mean, it's only a lie until you profess it as a lie, right?
No.
If someone assumes I did something,
Regardless of what it is, good or bad.
and I don't say anything about it, there's not a lie. It's just a person assumes something.
Okay, they made an assumption about you. They confronted you about an assumption that they had about you. You knew what they were saying was incorrect, and you do not say anything.
Okay, so
no, that's
so
my question.
I
Is that a lie?
know because watch this. People will assume because I hired a woman that I got something going on with that person. I can't go chase everybody down because they assume something.
No. I'm not saying you have to go chase them down. I'm asking if someone come to you and ask you the question or make an assumption to you that of something that they thought that you did, and you know that you did not do it. If you don't correct them, are you lying?
No, because this is. I know what you're trying to say. People gonna. This is why I say I never give credence to anything rumor-wise.
Right.
Because if you say something, he just lying. Or if you don't say something, so I guess you're asking me. Amber asked for a lie of omission. That's a whole.
Well, I think that's where I'm trying to go.
Well, see, a lie of omission says that I purposely did something and then did not say anything about it. So a lie of omission says that I put it in a way to make it seem like it's something else.
Okay.
So watch this. I purposely misled the conversation. I'm trying to get an example. It says that, I sneezed this morning, so I took off work because I was sick. So that's a lie, because you really didn't take off because you were sick. You just didn't wake up this morning.
Okay.
So the lie of omission is painting a picture that has some, what you call it, Smith? You said it on one of my podcasts that I can paint the picture of a lie to make it seem like it's the truth.
Right.
That's a lie of omission that you got enough truth in it. That
Right.
It sounds real and you can defend it, but it's still a lie.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
a lie.
I get what you're saying.
I know it's kind of.
No, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I was just trying to, because I've always wondered that,
The example what I made was you can tell the truth and still tell a lie.
you can tell the truth
And still it can be true, but what you're doing is you're implying
That
there's a lie. And you can back it up and say, well, I didn't lie.
Yeah,
and
that's a lie
that
of
was
omission.
true at the time. It was true at the time. That's what that is. But
lying is tricky business, man. Yeah, it's tricky. It's
but
tricky.
whatever.
Torn, I think Rob's got a good one. You remember what you were saying is saying that
When the Pharisees was
when Jesus was on trial, they were asking a question, he would just ignore it.
Okay.
He didn't answer it, even though it was a lie. It was portrayed as a lie. He didn't say anything. But I know you're trying to go with it. It says that if we don't correct something, does not mean it's a lie. We just didn't correct them.
What's wrong?
I'm just.
Because
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but I also feel like that's a fine line we walk.
What you're trying to say is that if I lied about something but I didn't confess it, it's still a lie.
Yeah, I know that's a lie, but it just seems like
It's only a lie if a lie is only commemorated if I said it and it was a lie, whether it was a lie of omission. So if there is a perceived lie, it's not a lie. If there's perceived
that's just
wrong,
their perception.
Yeah. So it's perception, right or wrong. Until I commit that act of lying, it's not a lie. There's
Okay.
no way around it. So the lie of omission is what Smith says. It's enough truth in the lie that it make it seem like a word. Or here's a big one. This is what it is. I did something, and I really didn't say it was a lie, but I know it was a lie. But they assumed it was the truth. That's a lie of omission.
Yeah. That one I get. That one is easy. The only one I have an issue with is that when I know the truth and I don't tell the truth, am I lying? That's just the one that gets me. I get what you're saying. I understand and agree with it. But that's still.
What you talking about? Like pleading the fifth?
No.
I ain't gonna say that. That's what you talking about?
No. Not even that.
Give me an example. Give me an example. I'm lost.
And we'll get into this later on as we go through Galatians. There's a piece of us that has to be truthful. You cannot lie and not be truthful. So you're dealing with more truthful than the actual lie. I know they sound like they should go hand in hand, but a truthful person is always revealing. So what you're asking the question, Ellison, that I cannot say nothing. It's never a lie, but I'm not being truthful also. So I think what the line you're going in, and the lie is the actual act. I mean the act. Truthfulness says that even if there's ability for me to correct it and I don't do it, I'm not being a very truthful person. If somebody asks me, does this look fat? Do I look fat in this dress? Mm-hmm. And you just don't say nothing, you didn't lie, but you're not being truthful either. That's where I'm at. So you know what I'm saying? See,
so how do you not be truthful and not be lying? How does that work?
Because lying is saying that I told you. I said that. Oh no, you don't. You look fat in that.
So what does not being truthful? What does not being truthful mean?
Read Elijah's.
Elijah said benefits.
I can't see what you.
It says benefits. It is a lie.
No, I'm talking about the up at top. Move that YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, clear screen. Okay. It says Edison is saying that someone got your wife a gift that made her go crazy for you because she thought it was from you. Okay, Elijah, you're going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. You're going in the right direction. If you didn't correct her, say it was from somebody else because you wanted the benefits. Okay. Outstanding, Elijah. You said what I was trying to say.
And
Is that a lie?
No, that's not being truthful.
Wait a minute.
Unless you say yes, it was from me, then you're lying. But if you didn't say anything and just got the benefit, you're not being truthful.
Okay, so if I'm, how do
Lie, you have to actually say it's from you.
Okay.
You get it now?
I get what you're saying.
If you never
How do
said
I not be truthful?
Hold up.
I mean,
to lie is to actually say, I got the gift. That's a lie.
Right.
To not say anything, you're not being truthful.
Okay.
A lie you have,
I'm confused.
Okay.
I'm confused.
exactly. You have to speak it to your lie. You can't,
I get
wait. Lie is a spoken act.
Right.
If you don't speak the act, you can't lie. But
Okay.
if you get the benefit, you're not being truthful.
Okay, I got that. And I understand. Okay, what is the definition of being untruthful?
Not telling the truth.
Okay, all right,
All right.
Not telling the truth, right?
Wait a minute.
I'm trying to figure out why it's so difficult.
no, okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
A lie is spoken, but you can be untruthful with not saying a word.
Okay.
Your actions, because you didn't say hey, that didn't come from me.
I get that. I get what you're saying. Say what you got to say, because that may clear me up a little bit.
Hold on.
DJ got it. DJ got it.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put some church in it.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me put some church in it. Number one, I wouldn't have a problem with this. Because if somebody gave my wife a gift and it didn't come from me, I'm going to confront it. If I'm be like, where that come from? I'm not going to be like, oh, you been with him. She going crazy. I'm going to be like, where that come from? That's what we were talking about don't put yourself in a position. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, that's great. And she's like, oh, you bought this for me. And I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be like, okay, well, where that gift come from? Okay. I can remove myself out of that situation, whether it's lying or not telling the truth. Either one you want to do it.
Because at some point,
I can remove myself out of it. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
And stuff. It's just asking the right questions at the right time.
Right.
You know good and well if somebody buy your wife a gift and you didn't buy it.
I'm hot as fish.
And I want to know where that came from.
I'm not going to
I'm not going to get the benefit.
And why?
I'm going to get the benefits.
I'm not going to get the benefit. Matter of fact, she might not get the benefit. Because wherever it came from,
I need to know.
It's going back.
I wouldn't be able to get that benefit either, because I wouldn't be able to, whatever.
I wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
I wouldn't be able to enjoy
No.
it. Because, in the back of my mind, I'm saying, okay, I know I didn't do this.
It's two. Thank you, because I'm gonna help you out, and Robert's gonna help me out with you too.
Okay.
It's two different actions.
I understand that. I get that.
So you can be untruthful and never tell a lie. Because telling a lie is what? I have to tell
Speak it.
something.
You have to speak it.
I can be untruthful in my actions all day long.
Okay.
Wait.
Look what Dickie Roberts just said. Lying is not being truthful, and are two different acts.
Two different
Okay,
actions.
two different actions.
Because
All right, I get it. That's two different actions.
Let me help you out. Let me help you out right quick. If I'm a trustworthy and truthful person, I'm going to adhere to my wife, and the Bible tells me to do all those things. Don't look at another woman. Don't lust up another woman. And we all know that if the right person walk past us, we're going to have to take a second look. I'm not being truthful. I didn't see a word. I didn't see a thing. But watch this now. If I go, my wife said, "Did you look at that person?" And because I want our relationship to stay good. No, babe, I ain't look at that person. Now I became a liar.
You just lied. Yeah.
Two different actions on the same circumstance. So then I said, yeah, I did look back at her, and then she hit me in my eye. Untruthful. No, I won't get hit in the eye. So look here. Untruthful adjective, saying, or consequence of something that is false or incorrect. It's an adjective. Well,
Okay.
a lie is an actual verb, which is an action.
Right.
So truthfulness is an adjective that modifies a verb. Now, I'm a math person. Don't have me up here trying to do no English in here. But it's two different things. Whoever put that up is pretty good.
Yeah. Thanks for the help.
So I help y'all yesterday.
Okay, all right.
Cause you just be like, all
So
crazy,
basically what we saying
like
is,
you say, Papa must be crazy.
untruthfulness and lying, both of them is sin.
Yeah, because when
But it's two different sins.
two different things, and when we get to the end of Galatians, if y'all follow us on Sunday morning, we're gonna do something different when we get to the 5th chapter, 22nd and 23rd verse of Galatians. So stay tuned to that one. We got some time to get to it, but we got some things we're gonna do with the fruit of the Spirit that's gonna hopefully bless people and drive the ministers crazy.
Wow. Woo.
Amen.
Smith, I think we helped Edison today. I think if we help nobody else,
You helped
and
me.
Elijah's question was a very good question that paints that picture, because maybe it didn't. Maybe it was just something, a gift that came in the mail, and it wasn't really nothing big, but it got to her, and it was from her cousin. And she didn't know who it came from. It was you. So somebody sent her, some earrings, and she thought it was you. You didn't say anything. You just, okay, it looks good on you, this and that. And then the next summer, y'all go to family reunion, and the cousin say, "Hey, I got some extra earrings and sent it to you."
She gonna call you a liar. Yes,
No?
Yes, she is.
But you said, I said, I never said it, but you never did say it. I said, so I'm not a liar.
That's what she's gonna call you.
Untruthful.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. I got one more question that'll probably take us out to the end. How do we, or are we any different than Peter?
No. This is, I'm only going to take 45, maybe 50 seconds on this. Tommy Elijah, 50 seconds on this one. We are all sinners, saved by grace. There is nobody any better than anybody else. So quit pointing your finger at other folks. So I can't point my finger at Peter. Peter was a liar, but I'm something. You something. Smith something. We all fight that battle. There's not one single person that can say that over the last 48 hours they were perfect. Matter of fact, it's not one single person can say they were perfect the last 48 minutes. Something was said. I mean, maybe not the 40. Maybe you was perfect for 48 minutes. Maybe I'll give you that because you was sleeping.
That's a tough one.
You slept through most of this conversation this morning. You slept through most of the conversation. And so that's my 50 seconds a lot. That's my 50 seconds a lot.
Wow. What you guys say, Red?
No, we're not any better than Peter. And then you got to look at the situation that he was in. This is during a very, very crucial time.
Life or death.
And it was a situation where had he said that, the thing is that before all this happened, he was talking to Jesus, and he told Jesus, "Hey, I'll go with you all the way until the end, even if my life depends on it." But when it came up that time, he lied, and so I think that given the situation and the right circumstances, I don't care how saved you are, if it comes down to a life or death situation, and you think a lie can get you out of it, it's just in you.
Chances are
you gon' lie.
And Smith, you just said something. Just a few hours before that, he was willing to die for God.
Yeah.
At least that's what he said.
No, he cut the so.
Oh, when he cut the ear off.
Because this is war. I mean, this is fighting.
Yeah.
He walked up there. It ain't the easy thing to cut a man's ear off.
Gotta be pretty good with the knife too.
And so he was willing to fight right there and then, because they came with soldiers, not a soldier, but soldiers.
Yeah.
And he was willing to die for Christ right then. And just a mere seconds later, the whole nature of ourselves. You go in one context, man. We at church. We around Jesus. We good. In the moment we are not away from Jesus, from distance from Jesus, we don't know who he is.
Well, that's the part that got me the most about Peter. Mm-hmm. When Peter was faced with almost certain death in the garden, because there was soldiers there and they was all armed,
Right.
He chose to fight. But now when he's in the courtyard, there may be some soldiers there, but it's mostly civilians.
When do we deny Christ? We'll deny. Nobody I know of in a right mind deny Christ in this building.
True.
When we're closer to Christ here, we don't deny him. The moment we have some separation from Jesus, amen, soldiers.
Amen.
That's what we deny the most.
Again, this was a life or death
Situation.
Yeah, yes it was.
situation, and I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you love living,
You gonna
and
lie.
you think a lie gonna keep you here, you can't sit down. I don't care how holy you are. You know. Matter of fact, he wanted them to know indefinitely. So I'm gonna act like them. I'm gonna cuss. I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So when you no, he can't be one with. Look at him. He cussing. And
Yeah, exactly.
And you said what you say?
And watch this.
I'm with him. You.
You said you said something. You said something.
Blank,
Now
blank,
watch
blank.
this. A life and death situation. John the Baptist, whose whole life was to go before Christ, knew who Christ was, understood who he was. At the moment before his death, he sends his disciples and says, "Go ask him. Go ask Jesus." When his life and death, but John the Baptist did the right thing, because I think if he had got back and Jesus, somebody he knew it wasn't Jesus, he would be like, "I don't know that Jesus got." He wanted to clear his conscience. And the bird got back and says, "Okay, well, I'm good. I can die for him." So, so even a life and death situation, John the Baptist had his questions about who Jesus was. But instead, unlike us, he did get verified, accept the verification when it's what he had to do.
Yeah. You know, and that's the part that gets me the most. John the Baptist, Peter, they were in life or death situations. But we lie for far, far less reasons. We lie just because we don't want to get argued at, or we don't want our wife upset with us, or we don't want, or there's a pleasure that we're trying to receive. We just tell a lie just because we know how. You know, we don't. I don't know of one time in this life that I have had that I was faced with a life or death situation, not based on something I may have said. Now, when I pit that against all the lies that have fell out of my mouth,
Well, watch it.
thank God for grace.
It don't even have to be something great. Watch this. It could be as simple as you lay in the bed, and your wife, she asks you a question. "Hey, did you turn off that light in the other room?"
Yeah.
And no good and well.
I don't even know if the light is on or not. I'm not getting up.
But what I'm trying to say is that that's just not one singular person. I can't put my finger at you and do this. You know, we would like to assume that the people around us don't lie, but that I don't put that high expectation on people to set myself up for that, because I know we all in this world that we are struggling to realize our spirituality. And yes, as closer as we come to Christ, it's less up there. So I would trust the people in the church building more than I would my thug cousin them, and I'm saying my cousin them because I don't want nobody to think I'm talking about them up in D.C. that they ain't never been in church, ain't going to church, ain't never gonna be in church. More, I would trust a person in church more than them, but not to the point where I'm saying this person in churches they all holy. They are deacon, or preacher, they're this, that. Man, deacon, preacher, trustee, usher, choir member, podcast host, podcast people in the back, giving the right opportunity. All y'all will be Peter.
All us.
It ain't got to be a life or death.
Yeah.
It could be simple as, I ain't want to get out of my seat to go turn off the light. So anyway, I'm sorry. I went over.
We are drastically running out of time. No, we are out of time.
We're out of time.
We are out of time. Oh my God. Thanks for a great conversation this morning, guys. I think it was something that needed to be talked about because it's something that we all deal with on a daily basis, hourly basis.
Well, let me say this. We were not saying that people not faithful. I want to say something to Robson.
Yeah, I see. I wanted to.
Give me a second on that from DJ. Not that people are dying for the gospel all the time. The conversation was, we are lying not because of life and death situation.
Right.
Yes, there are people who confessing. We in America are spoiled. We're not in China. We're not in some of those other countries where just having the Bible in your house could lead to death.
Yeah.
So yes, you're
That's
100%. I agree with you 100%.
That's true, but we are not in that situation.
Yeah. Let me clarify what I said and what we're trying to portray here is that most of us the lies we tell are not based upon life and death situations. Right. But yes, I agree. Man, there are people, even in America, the first mass shooting in Colorado, the guy was asking those teenager girls, and I get sad every time I think about this. He put a gun to her head and asked her, "Do she believe in Jesus Christ?" And she says, "Yes." He says, if you don't take it back, I'm gonna shoot you." She says, "No," and he shot her. And that happened, I think, 2 or 3 times in that act. That faced with a gun in our face, we stand boldly, and that's in America. So yes, I truly do believe that there are people who are standing their grounds and doing those things. But as common folk,
Right. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
That's a whole
That's a whole
nother conversation and stuff. We were just on the surface. That kind of goes
Yeah.
deep
Yeah.
into
Right.
you die for your,
and I would say this,
right.
and people, I work with people, and I stand my religion. I mean, I'm in the government, but you won't ever hear me not say that I'm not a preacher.
Yeah.
I told this guy that he says, "Well, you represent the government." I said, "No, I don't, because when I leave here, I'm not. I'm always a preacher, whether I'm here or not,
Right,
or whether I'm
right.
in front of a senator or not. I'm always a preacher." So,
All right. Thank you, guys.
great conversation.
Great conversation. We gotta go. We gonna see y'all next week for another great topic. Join us back in 30 minutes for our in-person and our online service. God bless you. We keep you. We love you. And you can go without lying.